Yo, what's up, you guys? It is Thursday, May 1st, and we are back with another TnS Daily review. So let's just jump right into it because there really wasn't too many good honorable mentions. As of right now, we only have one setup. It's 925. We have one setup here. It's just a short, versions 1 and 2, and it did fail, but we'll get into that. No other setups down here. None. Okay. I'm just going to fast forward through this. Let's see, pretty much no setups here until we come all the way back for this one and it gets stopped out. You can see the stop loss would be up here, these two red lines. It did get stopped. Okay. Now there's also no long setup here. I don't know why the indicator almost tried to say it was, but there's no long setup here. It's only the short, and it did fail, and that was for versions 1 and 2. So trade number 1 would be a loss for both. Okay, so trade number 1 is a loss for both. Once again, moving on. I didn't even see this one. I'm not sure what happens here. Let me check if it's version 1 or 2. Gotta go back super far away. Okay, this looks like a V2 short. I'm pretty sure it gets stopped because we ended up going to the daily swing, but let's see. Okay. So TP would be down here. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that one got hit. So let's back up and add that one to our stats. This will be a version 2 short. So versions 1 and 2, it's negative R. Maybe that's why I didn't notice it before. But this would be a win. So trade number 2 is a win for 0.79. We'll round it up to 0.8 R. And that was for 27 points. And that's for both versions 1 and 2. But it's primarily just a TnS version 2 short. Remember, TP is down here. So that got hit. And immediately after that one, we get a... Actually, we don't get a short setup. So no new setups currently until we create one here. Not sure what happens when we come back. Oh yeah, this one ended up failing. I do remember this one. So remember the short got tagged in here. There was 2 entries for it. So say you shorted here. Actually, there's only 1 entry for it. You shorted here with a 35-point stop. Your TP should have been this candle low. Sorry. This candle low way down here for about 76 points. And unfortunately, I think it got stopped. Got really close to TP there. Really, really close. As you can see, the TP's down there. We'll get to this long in a minute here. And also this new short. We'll get to that. So you can see if I zoom in here, it actually did not hit the stop loss. So this trade is still active. It did not hit the stop loss for 35 points. Once again, it's exactly at the entry. We did not hit the stop. The TP is still where it's at for 76 points, okay? And then it finally got TP for 76. Trade number 3 for both. Okay, so now what we have to do is I have to back up to about when the short activated because there was actually a couple setups in here that also were trying to play out. So about right here, I'm only looking at the new setups now. I'm ignoring this one. So we have a long right here. Let's see what ended up happening there. It gets tagged in there. Your stop loss is at that red line. I believe it got TP. So the TP for this one would be, let's actually zoom in here. So making sure that I'm doing this correctly, this candle tapped into the FEG for the very first time here, which means your TP should be up here for about 61 points. The indicator has it marked here, 61 points. Let's see if that gets hit. It does. Okay. Now I did see that short. I'm going to get to that in a minute as well. But this right here is a version 2 long as well. 35-point stop once again, just to show you it did not get hit. and 61 points. Okay, so trade number 4 is a win for both. Okay, and in the process of that long playing out, there's actually a short here. Looks like a version 1 short, actually. Yep, version 1. You can see it's a bearish FVG with a bearish candle that overlaps. This one would be avoided by TnS version 2, but it is a loss for version 1. So trade number 5 is the loss, minus 1R, minus 35 points for version 1 only. Once again, version 2 does not take this loss. Okay, moving on. And we get another bullish setup. So as you can see, remember, even though this gap did get inverse, this bullish setup did work. It will deliver to this high. Immediately after that setup gets TP, what do we have? Another TnS long setup, which means this right here is an A plus long because it formed immediately after a winning play. So this long right here is actually an A plus long. You long right here with the stop on that red line. Okay. And then where's your TP? Your TP is going to be basically, as of right now, it's going to be for 29 points. Let's see. Yep, so 29 points. It is negative R, but it does hit. It's an A plus setup. You can see it did get hit right there. It swept that high right there. So, and this would be TnS version 2. Version 2 does take this trade. So that'd be trade number 6 for version 1. That is a win. That'd be trade number 5 for TnS version 2 as well. Okay. And so remember, all throughout this, that original short, the one that was from right here, it did not get stopped out. It was just a few ticks away from getting stopped. We'll show it one more time. If I extend this, you can see if I zoom in here, it was extremely close to being stopped. It came 33.7 away, which means it's really just like a 1.5 from getting stopped out. It did not get stopped. Okay. Let's see if there's any more setups here. No setup there. Looks like a potential short here if we come back, but it might be 4. Yep, it's basically 4 o'clock here. So yeah, it's 4 o'clock. That's it for TnS. Pretty nice day, it looks like. Lots of wins today. So we're going to tally these up and get our final results. All right, guys. So these are our final results for the day. We have TnS version 1 with 3.4R on the day, 123 points. That's with 4 wins and 2 losses. And then we have TnS version 2 with 4.4R on the day, 158 points, and that's with 4 wins and 1 loss. So TnS version 2 did escape taking 1 extra loss that TnS version 1 took. So it ended up a little bit more green. But I like how it, ended off pretty nice for TnS version 2 with 4 wins in a row. Nice way to get some of the money back from yesterday's pretty nasty red day. But yeah, guys, it's going to wrap it up for this daily review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.